Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me, Techie Teacher. We are going to play a little bit of Magic, and for this episode, I'm actually thinking of before the end of the season, which the season ends in 42 hours. I want to be able to play a game of Ranked and kind of give you guys an understanding of what it is that I have currently been dealing with. I am at the second highest rank right now with the Eldrazi's, which is Diamond. My goal, of course, is to try and get to Mythic. I am currently Diamond, I believe, Tier 4. Diamond Tier 4 means that I am the lowest rank I can be in Diamond. But I want to be able to show you guys exactly what I kind of go against, kind of what I'm dealing with. Starting off, not good hand, so immediately mulligan. Much better hand. You want to make sure you have a hand that's going to have a minimum of 2 to 3 lands, and preferably cards that can actually be played with those lands. Now, I understand that I'm going to get rid of one of these cards, but for the most part, this is actually a pretty good hand. Forsaken Monument here is actually going to be really good to keep. And out of all of them, I might actually get rid of my Idol, which is right over here. And I think that card will. I think I might benefit the most from getting rid of Idol. Maybe. I want to keep Forsaken because actually it might be better off keeping Idol and getting rid of Basking, my Lizard. Because if I get rid of my Lizard, then that means that I can make more mana with Idol, which will allow me to have a better chance of getting out Forsaken. Always start with cards that are going to come out tapped. So Thornwood Falls, it gives us 1 health. All right. Okay, good start. So now we can play a mountain, play Idol of False Gods. We cannot use Idol of False Gods. It has a summoning sickness because it has the ability to become a creature. So until that card actually becomes a creature, it is not of any use. You and your impermanence you control gain hexproof until end of turn. That's no problem because all I'm going to do this turn is actually make myself a Scion, or not a Scion, a Spawn, and then end my turn. We will have, if they do not kill my spawn, which sometimes they choose to do, they did not choose to kill the spawn, it looks like. They only have 1 mana available, which can be used for white, black, or green. When you see a golden color card like this, that usually means that it is a rainbow color. It has multicolor, I mean, as well. Yes, I know I have my blue greens, my red blacks, my red greens and red blues in here, but that when it is more than 2 colors, they usually give them a golden border. It makes them look fancy, but also it's important to note that's what it means to have full color here. Okay, I can make a gamble. Sacrifice, exile each opponent's library. Sacrifice, draw a card. Okay, is it more important that I get rid of this? Or do I take out Forsaken Monument this turn? I can probably, I can't do both, but it might be better to have a creature out first this turn. So we're going to do Thief of Existence, which we will get rid of their Soul Guide. We're going to exile it. Now if Thief of Existence ever dies, that means that they can draw a card. I'm going to sacrifice my spawn to make another spawn. The reason for that is because it gives Idol False Gods a +1/+1 counter, so might as well. They still will have 5 mana for Forsaken Monument, even if they kill spawn, because I do have 1 mountain and land in hand, plus I have my 4 out here. And then I did draw one of my Titans, Emrakul, the World Anew. She's on the screen for you to be able to read, but she is actually very powerful, very fun. That's why she costs also 12 to be able to play her. Okay, right now, Insatiable Avarice, this has a spree ability. Basically what that means is that they could pay not just, they have to pay at least 1 black, and then they have to pay 2 mana, they can do this, and if they pay 2 more black, they can do this. They can play every single one if they want, or they can pay just for 1. Alright, we're in a good position. We're going to play Forsaken Monument this turn, which now gives all my creatures +2/+2, giving my spawn from a 0/1 to actually be able to do damage this turn. So we're going to attack for 7 this turn. Okay. Remember, as I mentioned, one of the win conditions is to bring your opponent down to 0 health, from 0 or less from 20, and being able to deal big numbers of damage like this is something that will help a lot. Beginning grand step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3. Okay. They have not gained life, so we're good there. This turn, next we're going to play is Writhing Chrysalis. Writhing Chrysalis comes out. I get 2 Scions with it when it comes out onto the field. Things are going to get nice and big. I'm going to activate Idol of False Gods. Get another Scion. Sadly, we can only attack with my 7 damage again this turn. However, we will be getting much and much closer to an actual win. Now, the thing to remember with playing ranked is that some people play some intense cards that will cause them. There it is. Yep. That's exactly what I was afraid of happening. So now their card makes it so that they cannot lose the game and we cannot win the game. At the end of their turn, that's going to go back. Yep. So now I'm in a pickle. Because they can't win. They can't lose. Not yet, anyways. But there will be a time that they will lose. I have cards that can hopefully allow me to win here. I just have to be able to get them out. Till then, I'm going to make sure that their health is always in the negatives. This is why it's very important to not expect to be winning in the very beginning. It's important to humble yourself and always expect a chance to lose. Now I have to put my brain into override here. I do have cards, like I said, that will help me win. What we're going to do here, when you cast this spell, you gain all creatures. So, Emrakul, I kind of want to hold on to Emrakul because of her ability. Path of Annihilation will be helpful in the fact that it's going to allow me to just always have mana available. In this turn, I will also do another Idol of False Gods ability just to make sure I can keep getting myself Scions. It's going to be very important that we keep a big amount, because if there's a chance that they gain health, well, I want to be able to make sure they're in the negative so they can never gain enough health to get out of negative. Okay, so that's important to know. But this is where it's going to be useful. I saved Emrakul, which means I can now play Emrakul and steal the... I'm going to hold off on stealing you. And instead, I'm just going to activate Idol. And I'm going to attack with Thief, because Thief is a 5/6, so Thief can still kill this turn. Or kill their Sigarda. No. I'll hold off. No attacks. Or Writhing. We attack with Writhing Chrysalis. That might be the smarter move. Because with Writhing Chrysalis, it has the secondary ability that if I sacrifice Scions, it will just... Okay, so they can attack me directly this turn because their creature has an ability called Flying. Flying means that I can only block it if I have a creature with Flying or if I have a creature with Reach. So they did not attack. Interesting. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way. I need to be able to draw some cards, which is the big issue I'm going to be having for a little bit here. Basking Broodscale gives me 2 life. Activate Basking Broodscale's ability, of course. That way I can get another spawn. And then, of course, I will activate Idol False Gods. Okay. We will not attack. We'll let them be at negative 34. I think negative 34 is a good stopping point for them. Now we have to hope. I have maybe 2 cards that can win me the game right now. One of them is another Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. If I can get him out, his ability when I cast him, I get to exile 2 permanents of any that an opponent controls. Or another permanent, another one I could get, will hopefully get, is called I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's a card that will allow me to specifically destroy target lands that an opponent controls. So I can't do that this turn, of course. I'm hoping to draw it. I do have cards that allow me to draw. The issue is there's 69 cards left in my deck, and I have to hopefully draw one of these 2 cards. So percentage is kind of low. They have 66 cards, so if this game runs to the far enough, they will have no cards in the end. But I still have to be able to get rid of all their cards of it. Their tokens that are making it so they can't lose the game. And I can't win the game. Let's see what they plan on doing here. Okay. Other permanents you control have indestructible. Perfect. So the more we let them do this, the better we are going to get for Emrakul here. Which I think it's time, because Flying, Vigilance, Indestructible, other permanents you control have Indestructible. That's actually going to be very useful to have. I might honestly steal it this turn, because it would be worth having that on my side of the field. She plans on attacking soon. I do know that. So I need to be able to negate it. And I think the best way to do that is if I play Emrakul. I think we play Emrakul. We take control of their creatures. We gain a bunch of life. There we go. And now all my creatures have indestructible. And on top of that, I now just have no blockers to block me. So negative 72, I think they're good there. From here on out, it's really going to be this goal of trying to destroy that one land that they have. If I cannot destroy that land, I am in for a very bad time. But I know I can. I just need to be able to get the card out. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. Okay. That's okay. Hexproof just means that they can't be target of spells or abilities, but it specifically says creatures. So I can't target them, I can't target their creatures, and I can't target planeswalkers. We are going to play Mindstone, and then after we play Mindstone, we're going to sacrifice Mindstone because we need to draw a card. Okay, we got ourselves a land. That's no problem. And then, because I don't really want them to have it, target creature I control, I'm going to target our... I forgot player permanent. Hexproof can't be the target spells, abilities, your opponent's control. Never mind. They completely negate me in the fact that I can't actually do anything with the ability, or else I was going to kill their creature, but because of hexproof, I can't target. Oh wait, I misread. This says other creatures, so that means other creatures means that Shalai is not hexproofed. Other creatures are hexproof, which means I can target her and destroy her, which will be very useful. Either way, she wouldn't attack because we have way more cards than they have. Okay, Snapping Voidcrawl will be a good card to have because it's going to be a way for us to be able to draw cards, which is exactly what we're going to be needing right now, is ways to draw and get cards I didn't use it on an Eldrazi, which stinks because it means I won't get 3 life. But 38 is pretty helpful. Are they going to? You and permanents you control gain hexproof and prevent all damage that black and or red sources. So card gets hexproof, negates my ability. What a shame. That stinks from me. But I did get the 3 health because of I control Eldrazi. I always thought it was creature I used was Eldrazi. Okay. We are still going to put +1 for each creature you control. Okay. It's going to be we're going to be in a stalemate for a little while, I believe. That's sadly what this is going to become. We're going to draw a card and hope for the best. Okay. That's Westvale Abbey is a good card to get because it allows for me to sacrifice some cards, which I'm going to hold off on doing for a little while. But Westvale Abbey can be transformed into, as you see, Ormondal Profane Prince, which allows me to sacrifice creatures to be able to summon it, and is a 9/7 big creature, indestructible with haste. That's going to be very important. Right now, they're trying to, I think, buff Shalai enough to where it would be difficult for me to beat it, but I hopefully should be able to counter it still. I think Chrysalis. I shouldn't play many cards because I should be holding off, but for now I want to draw. And we're still hoping for one specific card. Okay, I'm going to activate Westvale Abbey's ability now and get myself sacrifice 5 creatures. We're going to sacrifice the 2 new spawns plus 1, 2, 3 more spawns, which after sacrificing them gives me 5. And that gives me a lot of abilities to trigger, of course. Some creatures are going to get stronger. Idol False God is that much closer to being summoned, and then we now have Ormondal on our field. And with that, I'm still not going to attack because it is going to be very important that I hold off on attacking, because I need to be able to counter any creature that they have. Okay, my turn. Okay, I'm drawing lands galore here. This is one flaw with my deck I find, is that sometimes I just get lands. We're going to use cycling. Cycling allows me to discard and draw a card. Okay, Eldrazi Repurposer, another Eldrazi, another creature. That's fine. It gives me 2 health because, of course, Forsaken. All right. Still can't draw. Still, we aren't able to trigger anything to draw more cards. So for now, what we do is it might actually be better. What we're going to do instead is we're going to sacrifice Contaminated Landscape to get a card out on the field. And by doing so, we are now eliminating the amount of cards in my deck. So that's actually probably a good thing for me to do. I don't get many colorless because the only thing that's providing colorless, I have a lot of spawns. I have Snapping Voidcraw, and then I have Deserted Temple. That's it. Other than that, still not enough. They're holding off on ever attacking because of what they have. All right, so Echoes of Eternity is a fun card that I'm going to be using. Echoes of Eternity will allow for me to get multiples of cards. It makes copies for me. However, I try not to. Okay, I don't have any more ways of making colors I'm learning now, which is understandable. I did just get rid of my only other colorless generator down here, but with this being triggered, things are about to get a little more hectic because of everything that will get casted is now going to get duplicated for me. Anything that is colorless. Okay, they're going to counter it. That's okay. Even if they counter it, all my other stuff still goes off. So I'm going to now get Idol False God as a creature. Because I sacrifice. Exile target non-land permanent. You lose 3 life. Okay, so they exiled it. That stinks. But that's okay. That's just one of many things. Now Rising Chrysalis will get stronger. Forsaken Monument gives me health either way because I cast Colorless. No attacks this turn, and then I end turn. They're now just trying to, if you don't, you lose the game. So now they have to be able to pay mana or instant at the beginning of your next upkeep. Pay, yeah, so they had to pay the mana to be able to avoid it, which I believe they did. Creature's now 8/9. They're saving up for something, I believe. It would seem. I don't know what, but it's going to be very important that I take care of their deck here very soon. Draw a card. We're gambling here. Okay, this is how we do this. We are going to sacrifice 2 Scions. Then we can spend a lot of mana. We can spend, how much mana can we spend? Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, minus 6 of these guys. Well, minus 2, we have 6. 12, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 creatures. We can, 23, we probably don't need 23, so I'm going to make this, and then actually I am going to do this. So I might do the 23. So we're going to pay that much mana. It's a lot, but we can do it. And the purpose of this is because I want to be able to find my cards that will allow me to hopefully win here. So we're going to start by creating 23 Eldrazi spawns. And then, okay, there we go. We do not want these Ulamogs. What we need, we don't need that Ulam. We don't need that. We don't need that. Scrying means that I'm allowed to adjust and make the deck how I need to. This is exactly who I needed, was Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, who I now draw. And because I have Scions, I can activate Ulamog, which allows me to exile 2 target permanents. And we can say good game, because we just won the game. It took 22 minutes, but we win. And we'll get rid of their 8/9 as well, just to make sure. Oh boy. Uh-oh. That's exactly what I don't like to see. So so even though I had Ulamog to exile, they made it so that all their creatures were hexproof this turn. So they still avoided any type of damage this turn. Good job to them. They did really good with that. Dang. So we are still in a stalemate for a while here. I'm going to start attacking with Ulamog because I'm going to make it so that their entire deck is exiled now. That way, I know they don't have anything else to attack me with, is the idea. Okay. I know what my next lot of cards are. Sadly, I should have set it up so that way I would get the card I needed, but I did not. So for a little while, we're just going to get a lot of different creatures, a lot of different cards, and just have to do some drawing, which is okay. It's not going to be a problem. We can do it. It's possible for me to win this. On a turn like this, that's when we attack with Ulamog, because we want him to exile 20 cards. All right. And that's going to be basically what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to make them exile all of as many cards as I can from their deck. And I have a feeling they have cards that will make it so that they could make more of those tokens. There it is. We got them to exile their books. Those books are going to be those books are what made it so that they couldn't lose the game. These guys' blessings would have made them shuffle their deck back into their hand. So this could have been pretty bad for me if they had gotten those cards, but instead they did not. And Surge of Salvation is a card that they probably have more of in this deck. If they don't have more of it, that'd be a surprise to me. Nope. Okay. Oh, they did have one more that we exiled, so we need to be prepared for if they would do another one with that. All right. No, he's just going to keep continuously buffing. Shall I? However, because I have creatures with all my creatures have indestructible, it's not going to hurt me to continuously all right. I do have an ability that I can do. I have a trick that involves using Tarians, but which goes on Basking Brood scale. However, for now, I don't think I want to do it because of the fact that there's no point in me using the ability. They're at negative 88. I know I'm going to win this. I can still win this match. I know that. I don't know if they know that, but for now, they're just going to keep losing 20 cards from their deck. And at some point, I will end up having to hopefully win this game. The goal is to not get drawn to get to 0 cards in my deck, because that is another way you lose the game, is by getting 0 cards in your deck. They can't lose the game either way, so we're going to be at a stalemate for a very sadly long time if this keeps up. And if need be, I will pause us until we get to a point, because we are running on pretty long with just this one match. This is why I wanted to show you guys what it is like to experience playing in ranked, especially at this high of a setting. Yeah, we want to auto pay. And then all these abilities will trigger, of course, like usual, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They will now be at negative. They'll now have no cards in hand after this attack. And I don't think they're going to lose with this, sadly, because of the fact that they still have the card that's going to make it so that way they win the game still. My creature's indestructible. Their creature will survive. Ooh, I didn't make any turn, but it's okay. All right. I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll come back when I have a card that will let me win, or we get close to them actually winning. Their card became a creature this turn. I don't know what their plan is with this, why they did that. I was going to pause, but that just caught me off guard. I don't know why they would do that. Okay. All right. They just did that for their own purpose. I'm going to pause here, and I'll be pause when we actually have something to go with. Okay. Well, I was going to unpause eventually, but they decided I still hadn't gotten through all 23 cards that I had looked through. So as you can see, I still had a lot more to go, but they decided to give up. I think it's because they realized that I might have something, or that I was just going to keep continuously using abilities. As you can see, from where I paused to where I am now, I've gained a lot of health. They lost a lot more health. I played a few more creatures that I got out onto the field. I actually, when they made me lose, well, when they decided to give up, I had gotten Ulamog the Defiler out, which we remember from my what is MTG video. Ulamog the Defiler's ability. Sadly, it wasn't going to get anything new, but it wasn't going to exile any more cards, but it would have gotten, I think, looks like the highest could have been a 3. in their deck. Oh, or 4. Oh, we have a 6. Okay, so that actually would have been very useful because if Ulamog the Defiler had stayed out, he has Annihilator 6. With Annihilator 6, I was going to attack, and Annihilator means that they have to sacrifice permanents when you attack, which means that they would have had to start sacrificing their permanents and get rid of everything. I was going to win that way as well. So they would start losing creatures, probably first their creatures or their lands first. Their goal would have been trying to keep Mutavault alive around as long as possible, but in the end, this was going to be my win. Yeah, I wanted to just tell you guys how the game went, how to show you that I was close to winning, but they ended up giving up, which I did not expect them to do. I thought they would have committed a little bit longer, but that's okay. I wanted to show you guys this. This is one ranked match in Diamond. This is what I'm going to be trying to overcome. I'm tier 4 of Diamond. This is just my first win in a while for them, but also a reason why I've been holding off on playing so long is ranked again. It's been maybe a week or two since I last played rank, and it's because of this reason right here of just this match took about 45 minutes just for one match. Sometimes it's actually pretty quick because either I don't go get a good hand or I get a really good hand and they don't get a good hand. But matches like this sometimes come down to a battle of attrition of who can stay the longest. But yeah, I wanted to be able to show you guys this, and I'm going to call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.